to international games to set our standards against Japan and against Australia. And I really believe that we've done a better job this time around preparing for Korea. And just like Coach said, they didn't come to lose, but then again, we didn't come to lose in front of our own country. So I just hope to have a great game, and hopefully in the end, the Filipino viewers and the Filipino fans, they're the overall winners in watching the game.
I'm not going to make any predictions, but I know we have a good game plan. We trust our coaches, we trust the game plan, we trust the players. And as long as we can execute, it's going to be a good game, and hopefully we can come out with a win on our end.
I think we're going to win. That's the bottom line. I think that we're going to, it's going to, I don't think it's going to be a cakewalk. I'm not sure it's going to be a nation or the other day. I think we're going to win. I think we're going to see a different Aguilan team. That was speaking to the things like Japan and Australia. I think we're going to win.
I'm right there with Coach Walker. I definitely think we're going to get the W. We're not here just to go ahead and, just like Japan or Australia, we're not here to make a good showing. We're not here to say we did our best. Our players are installed now to win. Second, it sucks. That's all it is. I have to go ahead and tell Coach Lawrence that I'm so glad that they came out here, but we're going to be coming with everything that we got for you guys.
Well, that's the beautiful thing of it, man. I wouldn't expect any different answer from these coaches. Nobody's playing for participation right now, right? And that's the beautiful thing of the game. That's why you play the game. You play the game to win, and that's what makes it exciting to watch.
There's no tie in football. Okay? There's no sudden death.
The score is almost always more than 1-1 too.
The first one that scores wins. I mean, there's no tie. There's no, there's a winner and a loser.
It's going to be a good game.
And I think we're going to win.
Yes. All right, then we have our predictions. Any last questions on the floor?
Okay. So this focuses on development. Because pretty much, as what you have said, this is not as competitive yet as basketball, wherein you are required to attend university or play basketball from high school to college. So pretty much the Philippine American football is an open door for everyone. But the question here is, how long does it train to be a bona fide football player? For example, an average Filipino, you don't have any credentials or any sort. How long does it take to train a guy to be one of you?
Well, what do you do when you go ahead and you train a basketball player? First thing off is you go ahead and you look for an athlete. You can teach anybody how to play basketball, but you can't teach height, you can't teach anticipation, you can't teach hand-eye coordination. It's the same thing with football. You look for what's there, you look for the athlete, and then you go ahead and you build upon that.
But aside from that, I would hope in the next coming years that we would see Little League teams, and I would hope that maybe we see some school teams.
Where you can select.
And there's that supply channel going on to the bigger and better things. I would hope that we see some college teams like they have in Korea. I don't think this is a pie in the sky kind of a thing either. It's like Apollo said. I think Filipinos like to see competition, and they like to see physicality. And, they like to see sports at a high level. Boxing is a big thing here. You used to go around and see boxing clubs, and you see little kids boxing. UFC. Yeah, the UFC is getting big here, just like it's in the States, and you're going to see little kids doing it. So I would hope that you start to see, and that's when people start to, moms or dads in particular get interested in learning how to coach, because they want to be, with their kids when they go out. And then you see people start to say, well, I like this. and they take it to the next level, and then they take it to the level higher than that, you know. I agree with what Mike said, that, you know, that by 2018, we should be competing fairly consistently in Asia, in an international level.
I don't know if you were looking for an answer in terms of time, but years. You mentioned high school and college. Of course, young players back in North America, they develop over time throughout JV and high school, but keep in mind their bodies are also developing. Here in the Philippines, you guys have the advantage of starting with grown men and selecting grown athletes. And it's not so much a time as in years that's necessary, it's repetition, and it's work in the weight room, putting time in the weight room. Not a year's thing, but number of workouts per week is really what's needed. A number of times on the practice field per week is really what has the quickening effect of a program development. Coach Walker's absolutely right. I recognize that there's a lot of potential there in the Philippines. That's why we're here, because I believe it's going to give our guys a good test. You've got a lot of strong guys, got a lot of fast guys, and there's a ton of potential here in the Philippines.
I mean, just to add to that, just like any other sport, you know, whether it's basketball, soccer, American football, it's commitment and dedication, and we keep talking about the physical, like the height. I can't control my height, but what I can control is, you know, make sure I'm working out, jogging, and a lot of American football that's not really seen as the preparation and the mental aspect. I mean, it's not just like the continuous game. There's game plans going on, and there's adjustments going on in the game. So you have to be also mentally prepared, not just physically.
Also, I want to add, there are some few misconceptions about American tackle football, that you need to be big in order to play the game. But I want to tell you that you don't necessarily have to be big, but you just need to be very, you have to have a big heart, and you have to be very strong-willed and determined. And I think that comes naturally for us Filipinos, that we're very determined and hardworking people, and we always have a chip on our shoulders and always have something to prove to other countries and to other people. And for me, that's what makes a great football player. So that's why I believe that football, American tackle football, is the sport for Filipinos. You know, we don't have the height. You know, we're not gonna be able to compete on a level that the way we want to, like in basketball or soccer or baseball. But I really believe that if we develop this sport in this country, that the way we are as a culture, that it's made for Filipinos.
You know, our guys, they're blue collar guys. They have families that they have to support. For them to go ahead and make it out to practice, even for the Aguilas or during the season for the AVP, that only shows how much that they actually love the sport. And that's the reason why Coach Walker and I, we come out and we volunteer our time, because we see that. And it really does. It warms our heart that they really, you know, they really love the game that much.
Johnny's absolutely right about not having to be big to play the game. If you're a smaller guy like Johnny, you better be fast. He's fast and he's a quick guy. That's the nice thing about football is there's different roles, there's different positions. You got the big guys, you got the smaller, quick guys. And there's a position for almost any body type as long as you're willing to put in work. The weight room and in the field.
Coach, it's pretty much about how much you're willing to put in, right?
We have a question on the floor.
I know there are a lot of great players in Pilipinas Aguilas team, but I would just like to ask if how was the selection made? Those players who will play on the 20th, and are these the same players who played against the Western Australian Raiders last year?
Some of the players are the same. Most of them are not.
All a good combination. I played in all 3 games.
We selected our best players from the league. You can consider it an all-star
The best of the best that we have here.
Do we have any more questions on the floor before we wrap up? And just to build off of what Johnny was talking about, you know, with the Filipinos and the sport, you know, he mentioned, you know, it's hard to stack up internationally. We've been proving it all the time that Filipinos are fighters, right? We fight every day. And I mentioned this before in one of the first press conferences that we had. If you want to pick a fight, don't pick a fight with a Pinoy. See the shirt? The shirt says it all. You know, you pick a fight with a Pinoy, he's going to fight you until he's dead, right? And even then, you got to deal with his relatives, right? So, that's what you can expect from us, from the Aguilas, from this sport and this game. So we want to thank you guys for coming out tonight. We also want to extend our thanks to Emperador Light, City Link coaches, Aguila Auto Glass, who's been there from the very beginning. Thank you very much, Aguila Auto Glass. Marciano's Pizza Pasta Steaks, the Philippine Star, Food Club Buffet, and Yumane. And most especially to Skippy's Bar and Grill for hosting this press conference again and for being a class act sponsor for the Aguilas and having been there from, you know, from the Australian game moving on forward. Thank you very much to our sponsors. Thank you very much to the press. And we look forward to seeing you guys on the 28th. Maybe guys, you want to invite everybody to the game for the cameras?
Yeah, please come out and watch us play. I think you'll be happy, and I hope you become a football fan.
And everyone who's watching or reading the blogs, all our teammates, fans, there's some teammates out here. Tell everyone, come out and support. You're going to watch a good game, Korea game.
Just like to invite everybody, February 28th, Philippines versus Korea at Presscon Stadium, 1 p.m. Come watch the greatest sport in the world.
Absolutely. We're excited to see a big crowd, excited crowd, and come on out and you see for yourself. What is all the hype about football? Why is it the #1 sport in America? Why do millions of people watch the NFL? Because it's an awesome game. It's the best sport in the world, and it is way more exciting than a 0-0 draw on the soccer pitch.
5-day cricket game.
You know, definitely the more people that we can go ahead and we can get out there and support the Aguilas and just to come out and watch the game of football and really learn. I think it was really better the game, better the understanding, and just overall, just, you know, come out and have a good time. There's nothing better than just coming out to just watch a great game, especially against Korea.
Okay, well, thank you very much, press, again for coming out tonight. We'd like to thank everybody for being here and taking part in this press con. Please feel free to take a